Premier's Dark Brandon has returned to go after Republicans who have been looking to cut Social Security.
They don't. I don't know who they think they are. We saw on Tuesday night Republicans don't like me being called out on this. They were not very happy with me pointing this out. But their words speak. Look, I know that a lot of Republicans, their dream is to cut Social Security and Medicare. Well, let me say this. If that's your dream, I'm your nightmare.
Oh, I like it. I like it a lot, actually. You know why? Strong.
Oh yeah.
I like the strong, I like the strength there. I'm your nightmare. Wonderful. That said, is this part of his re-election campaign? Of course. In fact, you could say the State of the Union speech was also a part of his re-election campaign. Of course. That said, I like strong. I appreciate strong. Keep doing this. Keep doing it. Now, this comes after he called out Republicans on their very, very real efforts to cut Social Security and Medicare. Now, that apparently triggered them. They were very, very salty about this. Very many right-wing tears. They didn't want people to know what they're actually trying to do, which is, again, to cut Social Security and Medicare. I have clips here that I'm going to show you of Republicans in their own words going after Social Security and saying either cut it, change it, privatize it, get rid of it altogether. Here's that.
So that would raise taxes on half of Americans and potentially sunset programs like Medicare, Medicaid, and Social Security. Why would you propose something like that in an election year?
What's mandatory are things like Social Security and Medicare. If you qualify for the entitlement, you just get it no matter what the cost. And our problem in this country is that more than 70% of our federal budget, of our federal spending, is all mandatory spending. It's on automatic pilot. It never, you just don't do proper oversight. You don't get in there and fix the programs going bankrupt. It's just on automatic pilot. What we ought to be doing is we ought to turn everything into discretionary spending so it's all evaluated so that we can fix problems or fix programs that are broken, that are going to be going bankrupt.
Okay. If we really want to talk about the debt and spending, it's the entitlements program that's 70%.
Definition of a Ponzi scheme.
Right.
In the English language, that is exactly how Social Security
So I'm going to take that as a yes, that you believe that Social Security is a Ponzi scheme.
Medicare and Social Security and other entitlement programs are worth saving are going to consume the debt. We're down to a small fraction of the federal pie to run the discretionary part of government. So entitlement reform is a must for us to not become Greece.
It will be my objective to phase out Social Security, to pull it up by the roots and get rid of it. Medicare and Medicaid are of the same sort and need to be pulled up.
People come up to me, they actually don't work on it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So that's on the table, you're saying?
Well, if people want to work on it, maybe you need to give them an incentive to do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Again, and there's more and more and more, but that's just a taste. Okay? Republicans, yes, they want to cut Social Security. Yes, they want to cut Medicare. And look, I like the Bidens calling them out. And by the way, yeah, I just do have to mention, though, that, during the Obama administration, Biden had negotiated with Republicans to do a cut in Social Security. So let's be fair. I'm being totally transparent about that. That did not go through. Republicans, ended up not taking the deal because they didn't want to raise taxes. Now, Biden is going the right direction and saying no cuts to Social Security. And that's great. And of course, we're going to have to continue to watch to make sure that his actions match his rhetoric. And so far, it seems to be. So far, he is actually being aggressive about not cutting Social Security. Now, that said, what he should do is propose expanding Social Security. Look, 82% of voters, this would be a slam dunk, by the way. 82% of voters say, let's expand Social Security. Yes, let's do that. Across the board. In fact, 83% of Democrats, 73% of independents, and 73% of Republicans, they say, these are voters, they say strengthen Social Security, and they want to do so, and this is very important, by taxing the wealthy in order to have them contribute their fair share. These are Republican voters. Now, you just saw what Republican politicians are calling for: to eliminate Social Security, to cut it, to privatize it, to raise the retirement age, just to get rid of it or weaken it, chip away at it. That's not what the voters want. So understand that there's a theater going on here. Because it's so popular, Republicans come out and say, how dare you, Joe Brandon, you're lying. Oh, you're such a liar. How dare you, boo, boo. When in reality, when they're talking to their donors, they're like, oh yeah, of course I want to cut Social Security. Yeah, of course.
My.
That's the truth. So again, it is all projection here. All right. That said, Republicans know that the vast majority of people do not want to privatize Social Security. Again, it's very clear, both sides of the aisle. And when you call them out, when you expose what they really think about these programs, yes, they're going to get very salty. That said, what's going on here, and I think what was important, and the reason that the president had slipped this into there, into the discussion, into the State of the Union. Again, one, it's a very good political tactic, bringing this up. Secondly, we're talking about the debt ceiling right now. So there's a debt ceiling fight. I think it's all ridiculous, and I'll tell you why. But Republicans are trying to get these Social Security cuts, budget caps, pushed into a deal in order to raise the debt ceiling. Now, I tell you this whole thing is a sham because it is. The debt ceiling shouldn't exist. It's a ridiculous concept. This is all theater. It's all money that we've already spent. Why does Biden have to negotiate anything? Now, he is, and he shouldn't, because look, at the end of the day, if you don't raise the debt ceiling, the world economy is going to crash. All right. Now, Republicans, they're not going to let that happen because of their beloved donors, their beloved corporations, and also looking at a more personal issue, right? It will tank the stocks market. Stocks that a lot of these, or I should say, pretty much all of Congress people are invested in. They're allowed to trade individual stocks. Are they going to do anything that imperils their own personal money? No, of course not. Their investments? No, of course not. So it's never going to happen. The whole thing, if Joe Biden were to just say, I'm not going to negotiate, suck it. How about that, Republicans? That's real Dark Brandon right there. I would absolutely love that. And Republicans couldn't do a goddamn thing. Why? Because they will never, ever allow the United States to default on the debt.